Thanks for listening to the AZ Wildcats podcast. I am your host, Mike Luke, joined by Jason Scheer. Hello, Jason Scheer. How are you doing?
Super, Michael. How are you?
All right. There's no better time to back the A. We already got the back the A comments coming in. All right. We have Arizona's Big 12 schedule. We are going to talk Arizona Big 12 schedule. We are going to make fun of ASU and the gauntlet they face as well. But we got something that a lot of Arizona fans are rightfully upset about. I get it. Arizona does not get Kansas at home in the first year. Scheer, you would have liked for it to happen. I would imagine Arizona will get Kansas next year, and then it'll be. But I will say it is kind of a bummer. I love the schedule, but that is a bummer.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I mean, I even tweeted yesterday when we found out the schedule's coming out. All I want is a home and home with Kansas, and we're not getting it. It's disappointing. We'll get to the rest of the schedule in a minute here. I mean, it's still an awesome schedule, but yeah, welcoming Kansas and McHale would have been really cool.
Yes, so that is a bummer. I don't think that will be something that will probably be the issue next year, but it is a little bit of a bummer, Scheer, so we can go with that. Oh, I like that Dios de los Muertos mug that you have. Very, very good.
It's from that movie.
Yes. Okay. Now let's talk about, before we get into the we're going to break down the schedule here. Before we get into the schedule, though, I think the one thing that we do need to really discuss, though, is how much more enjoyable this is going to be. I know Arizona fans are bummed about not playing Kansas, but we are playing good teams in real environments. We can't lose track of that when it comes to this year.
It is weird in a way to think like, there's no more midweek game in Pullman. Yes. There's no more Thursday night, 9 p.m. game at Oregon State with 6 people in the crowd.
Right.
Like those games are gone. It's weird. It will take a little bit of time to get used to. But like the schedule, just looking at it, man, it is wild. Like it is a wild schedule because there's no. And look, like I realize Oregon State beat Arizona and all that, but man, there's just really no days off, is there?
Yeah, so let's get to this now. Boat Shoes Blitz. Oh, great name. I'm looking forward to not being the default conference champion. Makes things more exciting. All right, so let's get into this. Jacob Franklin, pull that schedule back up, please. Right back up. All right, so here are the home and aways for Arizona. We're gonna go all the home and aways, and then we're gonna talk about it. All right. Arizona State, obviously, there's 2 wins. What do you think about that, Scheer? That will obviously always be the case.
We will never say otherwise. And I'm actually looking forward to ASU. KJ Lewis versus Sanin. I'm all aboard for that one.
I'm in on that one as well. Now, a home and home with Baylor. Now,
good man.
Yeah, that's going to be a brutal one because Baylor is a top 5 team in the country. Scheer is still kicking himself because he didn't think Scott Drew was any good. This is going to be a big one though, Scheer. Arizona going into Waco, yikes. But then Waco, then Baylor coming back to Arizona. You know, I mean, this is really going to be one. Arizona didn't play any teams like Baylor last year in the Pac-12 that were that big, that physical, et cetera, et cetera.
So my viewpoint now, and I'm going to be consistent in this, Mike, is that like when you have a home and away against Baylor, I'm cool with a split, right? Like we're not in the Pac-12 anymore where you have to beat teams twice. And, you know, if I can play Baylor twice and go 1-1, I'm cool with it. I just say it. Like Baylor's really good. They're one, if not the favorite to win the Big 12. It's probably Kansas and then Baylor. I mean, yeah, like that's going to be awesome when they come to McHale. And that is for those that don't know, that is a really weird gym to play in. Like the sight lines are very strange. It's a weird shape and all that. It's not an easy place to play.
Yes, exactly. But it's good, and it's going to get you battle tested. You got to be more physical. I think one thing that we've had with Tommy Lloyd's teams is sometimes they haven't been the most physical. Sometimes they've gone into games, and you're kind of like, all right, well, you were able to win that game, or you lost that game, but you probably should have lost by more, and you just went in there because you were Arizona. But if you go in and you play one of those games against Oregon State, then you are going to lose by 45 points. So you're going to have to be on your toes for sure.
Yeah. And we're always on our toes, Michael.
We are always on our toes. Now, Jacob Franklin, please pull that schedule back up, Jacob Franklin. Okay, now, BYU, Jacob Franklin's default favorite team as well. BYU is, it's a tough place to play, but I don't know. I don't really have any opinions about BYU.
They're good though. They're not a bad team. And that's the thing that we were talking about. Like Baylor's really good, and Baylor's better than BYU. But if you take the night off against BYU, they'll smack you.
Yes, exactly. Now, let's get to Iowa State. Iowa State, very fascinating, a very scrumptious matchup because you've got Arizona going into Hilton, and everybody always says that Hilton is probably one of the 10 best home environments in the country. I'm very excited to see that. Plus, they're coming here. Iowa State returns everybody from last year. Iowa State should be very, very good. I am very excited to see this matchup. Scheer, another one going against players that are big physical, players that lift weights.
Yeah, that's another one you split your cool with. I've never been to Hilton, but I remember I asked our boy Daniel Burke back there when we saw him, the toughest place in the Big 12 besides Kansas, and he said Hilton right away. And that seems to be the Big 12 consensus, is that Hilton is very, very difficult to play in.
Right. Yeah. Now with the let's see here, bring up Jacob Franklin, dude. I'm never going to remember all of this stuff.
He wants to see our face. I get you.
Okay, thanks. Texas Tech. All right, Texas Tech. People forget, and this is where the Big 12 is just crazy. People forget that Texas Tech is 4 years or 5 years removed from playing in the national championship game. I mean, so even schools you don't even think about. Texas Tech, big time. I mean, again, going into Lubbock. Arizona is also recruiting Lubbock for football as well. Texas Tech should be an interesting one as well, Jason Scheer.
Yep, another hard place to play. I remember that game against Texas last year where it looked like there was going to be a riot.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, another, but eventually, Arizona's got to win some of these road games. It's just not going to be easy.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy now. Jacob Franklin, can you pull this back up, please? Let's see here. All right, the schedule. Now, we've got Colorado, Houston, and Colorado and Houston. We'll break those down. All right, Colorado, I expect Colorado to not be very good, which we always talk about. I almost said John.
They'll be bad.
Yes, Tad Boyle is the John Tesh of coaching, where you're not really good, but you're not quite bad enough to fire you. You're just always going to be there. They accept mediocrity there. Arizona should be able to beat the snot out of Colorado.
Can you just add, we got to think Tad Boyle had 3 draft picks, 2 first rounders, 2 lottery or whatever, and did nothing with them.
Yes, exactly.
And they're going to be bad next year. If you lose KJ Simpson and the other 2, you're going to be bad, right?
Right. Oh, all right. Jacob Franklin says he can't leave the video up for
right. He's right. I just said that
video.
Too.
Fine,
Jacob Franklin. On this one.
You're gonna have to help me. You're gonna have to help me with this. All right, now let's get to Houston. Houston, very, very interesting. So Houston returns 7 of their 8 starters. You lose Jamal Shed, aka Jaden Bradley 1.0, but you bring in Milos Uzan. I think he's just, I think he's okay. But man, they're big. They're big. They're physical. They're strong. This is going to be another one where you can really test the physicality of everything, Scheer. I am excited about this one as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're well coached. They're going to be physical and strong. They'll struggle offensively a bit, but their defensive intensity is crazy. I think Houston's really good, but it is not easy to replace a guy like Jamal Shed.
Right.
And I'm not a big Milos Uzan fan. I haven't been since high school. We've talked about him. Probably
you don't like him because Sean Miller didn't recruit him, though, correct?
No, that was a Tommy guy.
Oh, is it Tommy? Oh, because generally, if you don't like somebody, I think Sean Miller didn't like him.
Tommy's watched him, and I watched him with Tommy, and we didn't like him at Section 7.
Right.
Didn't think he was good enough. Yeah, I just Houston's really good though, and they're going to be well coached, and they're not going to get shook and McHale and all that.
Yes, exactly. So that's really good. And I think that's also a good, I think it's a good wake-up call too. What I like about all these teams is they are all big and they are all physical and they are all going to be very good. By the way, Scheer, do you want to take your L now or you want to take it later on Cody Williams being a top 10 pick?
I don't understand what L you're talking about.
You said you didn't think he was good enough for Arizona to offer.
What does that have to do with NBA, Mike?
He was just picked in the top 10.
But he sucked at Colorado. You even admitted it the other day.
He averaged 11-4.
Mike, who cares? Who's he playing over at Arizona?
He averaged 11-4. He was clearly good enough.
Who was he going to play over at Arizona?
He was clearly good enough. That is all I'm saying.
Who was he going to play over at Arizona?
Been in the rotation. He would have. Arizona would have been deeper.
You can't answer the question.
Arizona would have been.
He wouldn't have. Mike, I win. I don't care.
You don't win. You lose.
You can't. I'm going to fight back on this one. You can't go on this show like I do and say I don't care what a guy prep is for the NBA or what he is. I only care about what he is in college, and then say you want to bet because he went top 10.
He was 11-4 in the, but he was 11-4. You make it out like he wasn't good.
I just said who would he play over, and you have yet to answer.
Because you would have had to expand the rotation. He would have forced his way into it.
I win.
11-4. No.
People are with me, dude.
No. This is stupid. All right, now
would he have played over Pella?
I would have played him over Pella.
Would he have played over Pella? No,
but that's also
would he have played over KJ Lewis?
But that's also because Tommy plays favorites. That's not fair. You could.
I forgot, by the way, that Houston's bringing in Masterpiece Son as well.
You could have put the best point guard in the country on Arizona this past year, and Kylan Boswell would have still started over him.
All I'm saying is
that not true?
Him going picked in the draft has nothing to do with anything we talked about.
By the way, he's also a spacer. For all you spacers out there, he shot 40-something% from three. He's a spacer, so spacers should love him. All right, anyway, now Jacob Franklin, can you pull the schedule back up again? I win. Okay, now.
By the way, how many players in last night's draft did you know?
Oh, we're going to get to the draft. We'll get to the draft. I got many thoughts on the draft. Tommy does play favorites. I love Tommy, but he plays favorites.
Yeah, what a big.
Kylan Boswell was a favorite.
Arizona should sweep this home schedule. Yeah, I said it.
TCU, UCF, and Utah. Here's where it's interesting, though. Okay, Jacob Franklin, that schedule is dismissed. But with UCF, you got to remember this though. With UCF, UCF is kind of the epitome of the Big 12 team that's crummy. But didn't they beat like Kansas and Baylor last year?
But the good thing is, the difference is Arizona doesn't have to go to UCF. Like, if Arizona had to go to UCF on a Thursday or a Wednesday or something like that, that would have been wild. That's a tough game. So that's actually a dub that Arizona doesn't have to go. And if you notice, Mike, they don't go and play the mountain schools. There's no road mountain games, too.
Right. Yeah. So that's fine with that. Those teams stink, though.
You don't want to. It's still, that's not an easy trip, the mountain road trip, and then they don't have to go to UCF. I know people are mad about not having Kansas, but there's actually some good things with this schedule.
Do Colorado basketball coaches, and you and I were talking about this weekend, do they actually recruit?
Someone said Tad was at the event, but I'm not sure he was. I did not see him.
Yeah, I did not see him. All right, now Andre Veras just said UCLA is still coached, or UCF is coached by Johnny Dawkins. Who's worse, Dawkins or Boyle? Dawkins by a mile. By a mile. At least Colorado. Here's the deal with Colorado. They'll never generally suck, and they'll get into the NCAA tournament once every 2 or 3 years. Johnny Dawkins was never even getting into the tournament.
Yeah, and that always brings back the argument, would you rather have a coach that doesn't bring in a lot of talent and doesn't do well, or a coach that brings in a lot of talent but still doesn't do well?
Or a coach that brings in a lot of talent that doesn't ever maximize it type stuff.
Yeah.
Like a I don't know, guy that might have been here before. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there.
Mike's taking more shots at Tommy Lloyd today.
No, I wasn't taking shots at Tommy Lloyd.
Hey,
real quick. And Brad Rich, the great Brad Rich, said we do need to admit this though, and we love Tommy. Hope Tommy's here forever. Tommy does play favorites. Come on.
What is this Maxwell guy talking about farts? Is this your burner?
Oh no, but we're going to talk because I was tweeting about farts earlier. Did you see that thing about the sign of a strong relationship is when you're prepared to fart in front of your partner?
Have you done that yet?
No, I have not. We're not that far along yet. But when I get there, that's going to be one of those things. Once the Hoover Dam breaks, there's no returning back.
When that happens, we're doing an emergency broadcast.
Emergency podcast. I will call Jacob Franklin and say yes. All right. Now, Jacob Franklin, can you please pull that schedule back up? Now we got to look at the away games. Okay. Now, Cincinnati, Kansas, and Kansas State. Cincinnati and Kansas State and whatever, who cares? Kansas
State on the road is pretty tough.
That is tough. We are going to get to that in a second. But Kansas though is very Kansas.
Yeah.
I got to give you guys a little bit of a background here. I was at Vasa Fitness getting buffed like Jacob Franklin. By the way, do you see Jacob Franklin in the background? It looks like he's got a massive headache. I don't know what's going on with him. He doesn't look.
See anything.
You can't see Jacob Franklin? Oh, I guess only I can. Yes, K-State on the road is legit. I'm not saying they're not. I want to talk about Kansas, though, because they interest me more. With Kansas, though, I told Scheer and our good friend John Brogan, I told him that I said, Kansas is going to be so far and away the number one team in the country. It won't even be close. It'll be unanimous. Both of these guys scoffed at me. They scoffed. They laughed, everything. Guess what? Guess who's the unanimous preseason number one? Kansas. Scheer?
This is not what happened, folks. What happened was before Kansas had finalized their roster and become the number one team in the country, Mike said they were number one. And then they added like 4 more players. And then it was like, oh, okay. At the time, they wouldn't. Now they are, yes.
Kansas is easily the best team in the country, correct? You agree?
Yes, now they are, for sure.
Okay. So that's going to be the game that I'm very much looking forward to. I was in Fog Allen back in 2002, my friends, when Salim Stoudemire scored 800 points in the second half and Arizona won. But you look at Kansas, they're loaded. They've got Hunter Dickinson, they got KJ Adams, they got AJ Storr, they got the Zeke Mayo or whatever it was. They've also got DeJuan Harris. You got that 5-star big off the bench. I know they lost that dude that tore his patella, but he wasn't any good anyways. And that's where it but again, it's a loaded team, Scheer. AJ Storr, obviously. You apologize right now.
Yeah, sure. At the time, Kansas wasn't number one. Now they are.
They were number one. I sent you a list where they were number one.
Look, can we just talk about Bill Self's hair?
Yes, we will talk about Bill Self's hair. Oh, Lonnie Johnson, the great Lonnie Johnson. Welcome to the chat, my friend. Very much looking forward to this. When you guys join the Big 12 July 1st? That's a good question.
June 30th, the Pac-12 network goes dark. So yeah, I'd assume July 1st.
Right. Now, here's where yes, exactly. Now, Brad Rich, the great Brad Rich says, Hunter Dickinson, is he good now? Guy was a bum at Michigan. He's good. He's not, if he's the best player on your team, he's not
still in college.
Yeah, I know. It's just, yeah. If he's the best player on your team, then that's probably a problem. But he's really, really good if he's your third or fourth best option.
Yeah. I'll never look, he's good, but I'll never forget Christian Coloco eating him alive.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing about it though with Kansas, I'm just saying that if he's a part, yes, no front runner 3. I am not making this mistake. I think I think Arizona can lose any of these games. I really do. I just want to talk about the games that fascinate me the most because, well, that's what we
fully acknowledge the Big 12 is really difficult here.
The Big 12 is, dude, nobody in America pushed Arizona to get into the Big 12 for basketball more than us. So
it was like today I mentioned, Arizona gets Houston, Duke, and Baylor at home, and then BYU fans were like, don't forget about us. It's like, I didn't forget about you. I just don't want to name the entire Big 12.
Yeah, we are not forgetting about you guys. So now Kansas had issues spacing last year with him and KJ, and they fixed that with the shooting this offseason. Yeah, I think they're going to be. I think Kansas is going to be fantastic. Obviously, now Jacob Franklin, if you could pull that schedule back up. Okay, now Oklahoma State, is Travis Ford still there? Who's their coach?
No, Travis Ford. No, the dude.
That guy sucked, by the way.
It's Steve Lutz, because they just fired the other dude.
Steve Putz?
Lutz.
Oh, I was going to say, that's my new favorite coach.
He was at Western Kentucky. I didn't really like the hire. I'm not a big fan of that hire. But they're going to play fast and get up and down. That's what Lutz the Putz. Look at you.
I thought you said Putz. All right. Out of all these games, Arizona can drop these games. I'm not saying they can. I'm just saying that Kansas is the one. I would have been very nice to be able to play Kirk Kriisa again, but he got out of there. He is at West Virginia as well. But overall, man, I get it. I totally understand people are bummed about Kansas not coming to McHale. I totally get it. But let's not lose the forest because of a tree. Or
let's not lose a tree in a forest.
Yes, that part sucks, but overall, this is still much better than going to Corvallis, Pullman, Berkeley.
And look, like I said, like Arizona still has some benefits to the schedule here.
Right.
Look, it sucks. I wish Kansas would have happened. I do think it's a miss. I noticed some national guys saying the same thing. I was pissed off for about 10 minutes, and now I'm over it.
Yes, exactly. Raul Mom, we love you, Raul Mom. Do not get upset by that. We very much like you. All right, look at Glenn in here, ASU fan Glenn. This is him trying to pull a Shane Diefenbach and saying the best basketball conference, without a doubt. The sixth team in the standing could be the top 25 team. This is him trying to channel Shane Diefenbach and saying that he thinks that ASU could be a top 25 team. No.
Yeah. Glenn's right. It's not ASU, but he's right.
No, I know. I just know where Glenn was going with that, though. That's all.
I'm very curious when the betting rankings come out for. I know they're out for football, but I'm very curious. I don't think they're out yet for basketball. I'd be very curious here.
Yeah, I am curious.
Kansas will be the betting favorite. We know that, but after that, I'm gonna be very curious.
Yeah, I mean, even Pauley Pavilion, like 5 Media says, even Pauley Pavilion was depressingly empty, except for Arizona fans.
Right now, Mike, Kansas is the national championship favorite, tied with UConn and Alabama. All plus 1,000.
I will take Kansas. I like Kansas' roster better, but I will take whatever. Now
and ahead of Arizona for the national title. I'm just because
where do they have Arizona? Where do they have Arizona?
Kansas is ahead of Arizona. Houston is ahead of Arizona. Baylor is ahead of Arizona. Arizona's plus 2,500.
Okay, so how many teams are in front of them?
There's 3 teams at plus 1,000. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Arizona has the 10th best odds.
All right, that's fine. Fair. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fair.
Are you going to be live June 30th, July 1st? When is this? When is June 30th, July 1st? I'm assuming.
July. What? Oh, what?
When is June 30th? Is that Monday?
Does it matter? I don't understand.
I don't know. Well, we are on Monday through Friday, Lonnie Johansson. I apologize.
Lonnie can't watch us on Sunday anyway.
Oh, yeah, that's a very, very good point. Yes, that's so. Jacob Franklin is laughing in the background. We see Jacob Franklin laughing in the background. Jacob Franklin, hold on. I'm going to add him real quick just so you can see him laughing.
That's good.
Just so you can see him laughing. Jacob is laughing. Look at this. Look at Jacob Franklin. Hold on. All right. Anyways,
I think we'll be live.
That was very, very good. All right, now let's see here. When does Arizona's non-con release? Roy Samuelson. Do you know that, Scheer? I don't know that one.
I don't even think that's done yet.
Yeah, Jesse Johnson. Yes, this is. Let's see here. What's up, gang? Who's ready for an epic Big 12 slate? Back the A. Yes, that's what I keep telling people. I'm going to keep saying this, and we're going to talk about it tomorrow as well. We need to be excited about all of this because this is still so much better. So much better. And you know what would really have really sucked is having to look at the Big Ten, having to look at a Big Ten preview right now. I was thinking about that yesterday. You know how crappy that would have been, Scheer, to look at and saying, okay, well, man, awesome. We've got Rutgers, Iowa, Penn State, Nebraska, and just keep going with a bunch of no.
First of all, I can't believe you just dissed Nebraska.
I know, but I'm just taking my personal bias out of it.
Yeah, but we would have spent the entire show breaking down Arizona versus Illinois.
Illinois, exactly, and Orlando. No Wisconsin shots.
Should we spread the rumor? Look, all I'm saying is
Tiguo might be coming to the U of A.
All I'm saying is Arizona has an assistant coach hire, and there's some rumors that
it's going to be a big name and probably the most
big.
They're probably the most, and it might be the most dominant recruiter in college basketball history. That's what I'm hearing as well.
I'm just saying, there's rumors.
Jacob Franklin, even though that's not true, we're going to use that as the clip. That is very, very good. I'm very excited about that.
Make sure you add the part about even though that's not true.
No. Yeah, maybe. Fine. Maybe I will. All right. Maybe I will. Now, we got a little bit of house cleaning news. Hold on. We got a little bit of house cleaning news. That's not the right term. But so I've gotten in trouble with Jacob Franklin the last couple days. Many things that Jacob Franklin is upset with me about. But 2 things. One of them's fair. The other one is not fair. So he is mad at me for not capitalizing the headlines on a show. I told Jacob Franklin I did, I thought, though, that, but then he said, well, what about the clips? I did not know that. Scheer even sided with me. He said that he thought Jacob Franklin was wrong on this. Correct, Scheer?
I just thought Jacob was a little aggressive in his correcting of you.
He was very aggressive.
Baby. When you correct Mike, you got to baby him a little bit.
Very aggressive, very aggressive. I will remember this next time you try to call me on Sunday, Jacob Franklin. Actually, you don't. But the other one, though, he told me, though, that he needs to, that the ad reads have to be a minute and they have to be in block form. So, chicken and pickle. Here we go. 25.48. So, here's the deal with chicken and pickle. With chicken and pickle, this place is fantastic. When you think greatness, you think chicken and pickle. Now listen, there you go. Look at that, Scheer. How amazing does that look?
Wow. I love a good pickle, and I love a good chicken.
Everybody likes chicken and pickle, and the great Jacob Franklin liked it so much that he reserved spots for us, or he didn't actually, but because it was going to be so packed. That's what we like about it. Plus, Tommy Lloyd, a big pickleball player. So, again, maybe you'll see him at Chicken and Pickle. But either way, here's the really cool thing about it. Head on over to chickenandpickle.com to see all the fun you could have at their Glendale location. Now, there was, like I said, all kinds of fun stuff. They had a massive success at trivia night. And the big reason why, I believe, was the great Jacob Franklin not allowing us in. But either way, chicken and pickle, really, really good stuff. You will like it. There you go. Boom. 1 minute, my friends. Now, the other one, the one that we all came here for, Circle K. Here's the deal. When you think of greatness, you think of Circle K. I went to Circle K I went to a one on Mission, way on the west side,
wow.
way on the west side. Yes. And the great thing about Circle K is this. It is for the people, by the people. Now, you might look at somebody like the lovely Erica Day, and you would say, she probably goes to Circle K. You're right. Then you would look at somebody like us, and you would say, they probably go to Circle K. You are right. We could not be any more different than Erica L. Day for a variety of different reasons. But that is what Circle K does. They help out the community. This is very true, though, Scheer. You would agree with all of this.
Circle K is the community.
It's that is the point. That is the point. Oh, by the way, where are our Circle hats?
Oh, I have an update.
Yeah, what's up?
The guy messaged me yesterday.
What'd he say?
Will Green said, I'm listening to podcasts. I have not forgotten about you. I have one hat. I'm waiting on the other, and then it's yours.
Yes. Okay. We will not go on the show until we both have Inner Circle hats. We absolutely will not do that. Okay. But join the Inner Circle for free in the meantime by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit circlek.com for details. All right. There. I did it. This is the first time I've done this correctly, I believe. Jacob Franklin, give me a thumbs up Give me a thumbs up, Jacob Franklin. I see you in the background ignoring me. We will not have any of this. Okay, now, before we get to, let's get to ASU's schedule because I like to mock and ridicule ASU as well. Can we pull up ASU's basketball schedule so we can make fun of this? All right, here's what we got. Let's see here. All right, at home, here's who ASU has. Iowa State, TCU, Baylor, Houston, and UCF.
Yeah.
What is that? What do they go 1-4 there?
Yeah, if they're lucky.
Yeah, I think they go 1-4. That's going to be tough. They're at least lucky they don't have GC.
The best scenario we would agree is 2-3.
Absolute best case scenario.
TCU and UCF 2-3.
All right, best case scenario because they're not beating Baylor, they're not beating Houston, they're not beating Iowa State. No chance. Now, let's see here at the away games. Then Utah.
That's tough, dude. That's a mountain game.
That's a mountain game. It's a mountain game, 50-50. Kansas, loss. Let's see here.
They could beat Oklahoma State. They'll lose to Cincinnati. They could beat West Virginia.
Yes, exactly. I would agree with that. Then let's see here. Oklahoma. Yeah. So I think best case scenario on the road, because they are going on the road, I think best case scenario is they're 2-3. You would agree with this, Scheer?
Yes, best case. Let's do absolute best case right now. We have them at 4 conference wins.
We have them at 4 conference wins, and we're going best. We're giving them the benefit of the doubt. We have them at 4-6, and they're home and away. Now they're two-play games. They're 2-play games.
Wow.
Okay. Arizona losses both times. We would agree with that.
Yep.
4-8. So then
Yep.
you got BYU. Best case scenario is a split.
Yeah, give them a split.
All right, so you're 5-9. Now, unfortunately, I can see them beating Colorado both times.
Sure. Give them the best case scenario. Give them the absolute best.
All right, we're going to go 7-9. Then we got them at Kansas State. Split. So that's 8-10. And then Texas Tech, split.
Yeah.
So best case scenario for ASU, they are 9-11. We would, I think we
that's
would
not
agree on
bad.
that.
And I know that sounds silly, but 9-11 last season, even though it's one more game than there was, 9 wins was good enough for 7th place in the Big 12.
All right, so does the great Shane Diefenbach try to turn that into that ASU is a top 25 team?
Yes. Texas last year, the 7th best team in the Big 12 was Texas. They were 9-9 in conference.
Right. So, I'm at, if they go 9-11, I think it's far more likely, though, that there's something like, so they played 20 games. I still think it's far more likely they go 6-14.
Yeah, that's fine.
Are you going 6-14 as well?
Yeah, because we're doing absolute best case scenario. The worst case scenario is
very bad.
Satan, the team blows up, they lose all their, yeah. Like theoretically, they could get swept by any of those home and away schools. TCU could beat them. Away only, they could absolutely win one of them.
Right.
It could get very 4-win team.
It could get brutal for them. Oh, we got another super snap coming in here. Hold on, Lonnie. Lonnie Johansson. That's a great name, by the way. I love that name. I am from Big 8 country, Kansas, CU, Nebraska, ISU, Kansas State, KU, OSU, OU. Good times. Guess what? So were the old Nebraska Cornhuskers. The Big 8, Tom Osborne, Bob Devaney. Exactly. Danny Nee, the great basketball coach that nobody's ever heard of. So, yes, that's where we're going with ASU. That's absolute best case scenario. It could be brutal for them. Now, here's the question that I do have about ASU. If ASU stinks, at what point does Joson Sainon's agent message you complaining about me?
Quickly. I'm very curious how that's handled.
I am very as well.
Curious. I don't think that's going to be. Look, he's very talented. We want to make that very clear. But man, if he doesn't get his shots up,
he's not going to be happy.
Yeah.
And by the way, think about it this way. If with Joson Sainon, I'm going to put this. Look at Carter Bryant. Look at Joson Sainon. Both kind of rank the same way. Look at what Joson Sainon and his camp put out. Look what Carter Bryant and his camp put out. Carter Bryant's dad's been on here. The great Deshaun Bryant said multiple times, he'll be there as long as he needs to be there. We're going to trust the coach's development. I've been through the process. Again, it also helps too when the people that are in your corner, when your father played, when your uncle is a McDonald's All-American, it helps. So that is and then you got the other people that are saying he's a one and done. We want, all of this and playing games with Arizona fans. Scheer, has your text message been alerted yet?
For what?
Just for the agent messaging you.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
All right. He blocked me, by the way. I've never tweeted at him.
Yeah, I never understood that.
Right. No, I believe Carter Bryant's going to be a 2 and I believe Carter Bryant will be here 2 years, Ryan Mitchell. I believe that I believe he's going to be a 2-year player. I think he's going to be on the KJ Lewis plus path where maybe plays a little bit more, but I think his camp is very grounded. I think they know what the case is. And I think that's the case. Now, do you want to talk about some Arizona staff moves or do you want to keep that quiet?
We can talk about the assistant. I want to keep the other one quiet.
All right, let's talk the assistant. Now, Orlando Antigua would obviously be the top priority for any school in the country. Assuming you can't get Orlando Antigua, who else would you go for?
I honestly would probably just leave the spot open.
Because you're not going to be able to get Orlando Antigua.
Yeah, I believe there is a possibility here. Now, we had said previously that we thought TJ Benson or Rem Bakamis would be promoted into that spot. I've heard in the last 48 hours that there's a very real chance that's not the case, that Tommy Lloyd has someone in mind that he believes he can get, and they are going very likely to get someone that isn't one of them, that is outside the family. I don't know who it is. I wasn't able to get a name, but that's where it's at now.
All right. Now, do you think that there's a chance that could be Conrad Martinez that has transitioned into an assistant coaching role?
The Big 12 better hope not. I'll just say that.
Seriously.
And part of me wonders too, you're not going to like this, Mike. You're not going to like what I'm about to say. And this is just me speculating. But if you have an international coach, do you replace him with another international coach?
No. Here's where I'm at with all of this.
That's just me saying I have no idea if that's what he's going to do.
Here's where I'm at with this. Tommy Lloyd has mastered the transfer portal. I need a big break, and he's done a good job of it. I need a big break on these international dudes, though. I'm tired of just bringing in one after the other that isn't contributing. After a while, it just feels like we're bringing in players just to bring in players. I want a break on that. I would like somebody that can recruit domestically. And so that's where I would go with that. I would like to hire TJ Benson. I like TJ Benson a great deal, but I'm obviously not that. But no, as far as the international stuff, I would like to see Arizona back off that a little bit. I am not. Oh, by the way, I just got an ASU fan just tweet something at me. Hold on. Let's see what Glenn's got to say. This better be good, Glenn. I'm reading this on air. Let's see here. Final Pac-12 Cup directors standings. Oh, I don't care about it.
Here's what I would do, and I'm only partially kidding. I would take the top player that I want in each class, and I would hire their father for a year.
Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah, seriously. Bring in Evan Mobley.
Your dad, your high school coach, whoever you want to come play for, you let me know. We're going to have him for a year.
Right. Yes.
I would do that. That's what I would do.
Andre Veras says, we don't need an international coach because Murph and Lloyd can recruit internationally just fine. I don't I love Murph. I'll never say anything bad about Murph. I'm just saying I don't want all the international players anymore.
Yeah, and look, I don't know if that's the case. It just, in a way, it wouldn't shock me if that's Tommy's thinking. But I don't know. All I know is that I don't feel as confident as I did this weekend that it'll be TJ RM.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed about that one as well. And no, it's not going to be Josh Pastner, Erica Elday. Come on, better question.
We could talk about the other thing. I just don't want to name the guy yet because it's.
Okay, yeah, cool. All right. So Arizona's going to be hiring looking at hiring a general manager for Arizona basketball. When you're big, when you got a lot of things going on, a lot of hands in the fish fryer, you've got. You need somebody that can use the deal with NIL, recruiting, all that stuff.
Yeah, this is it would be a new position, and basically it would allow Tommy Lloyd to be a coach. I think what it would be is, look, here's our NIL budget, right? You negotiate with these guys. Right. Like you're negotiating deals like just like you would in the NBA. This is our NIL budget. This is what we see the role for this guy. Negotiate, figure out money, how it fits together, run our budget, scout for us, things like basically just like an NBA GM would do.
Right. No, yeah, it's kind of an NBA light thing. Now, Five of a Kind Media says, Jason, how about bringing in Jason Gardner and Jason Gardner Jr.?
I like Jason Gardner. I don't.
Yeah, I don't. Here's the thing that Scheer and I have. Here's the thing that I'm not going to name any names. I'm just going to say something generally. There are people on the staff, I have no clue what they do. That doesn't mean that they don't do great stuff. I just have no clue what they do.
Yeah. And honestly, that's not just basketball. That's the whole AD and all that. I don't know what Jason Gardner does. I'll be honest. And I like Jason Gardner. If he wants, I have no problem with him getting paid. I'm just saying I don't know. People are like, Arizona fans go back to the same dudes whenever there's an assistant opening. Right. It's what about Jason Gardner? What about Josh Pastner? What about Miles Simon?
Yeah. I don't.
And if I had to hire one of those three, I think Miles would probably be that guy.
I would definitely hire Miles. I
think you can absolutely sell Miles Simon.
Okay, by the way, David Adams says half of the first-round picks in the MNBA were international. So I don't think closing the door on international is a great plan. No, but here, that's the point. You're proving my point, is that the great internationals just go to the NBA generally. They don't go to college. I mean, I mean, Alex Sarr is not going to Kentucky. They don't.
Yeah.
That to me would be the point. Now, listen, I'm not against bringing in international guys. I just think that this got a little bit out of hand for a couple of years. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, Mike is as July 4th gets closer, Mike wants to make Arizona American again.
Buy American. But no, again, I am all for bringing in, but they have to be good. I just can't have no more. Never mind. I'll probably get into trouble saying stuff. So, anyways, Correct. Yeah, I'm just not going to say that. So, what are we doing for 4th of July?
Erica, what a silly question, Erica.
Yeah, hot dogs. Come on.
Shelby Scheer runs July 4th in Marana. Literally.
That's what I thought. I'm like, no one's invited me to anything yet, so I was getting a little concerned.
Yeah. She might be able to hook you up with free parking too in the
And one thing about me, I'm not paying for parking. Brielle will tell you about this.
No, they don't charge you parking, but it's far.
Brielle will tell you I'm not paying to park. Like, we're gonna walk 3 miles before.
My father-in-law is just like that.
Oh, hey, we got to talk about this 5 of a Kind Media, but real quick, with the NBA with the
No, you did it for real.
I did it for real.
Oh,
no.
Oh, no.
NBA draft, Pella Larson, Keyshawn Johnson were not picked yet. We will talk about them tomorrow. Obviously, there's nothing really to talk about other than the fact that
one of them is going to be a Nick. That's my prediction.
Right. And other than the fact, too, that I can claim win for Cody Williams. There is where I'm at. Yeah, got him. You did get me. I don't swear, but all right. So let's we also have to talk a little bit about the Arizona
Wildcats.
The Arizona women's basketball. By the way, we need to be very clear about something about the reason the MNBA thing is a bit. That is it. Period. It is a bit. I find it funny. But
to Mike.
Yes, but let's be honest here. The NBA, unlike the WNBA, is not exclusionary. It is not discriminatory because in the NBA, anybody can play. Erica L. Day can play. I can play. In the WNBA, that's not so much, Erica L. Day. This is true.
Is that true? I don't think that's true.
The WNBA?
I don't think you find a woman to play in the NBA, could you?
Yeah, you can. No, there's nothing that. Nope. I looked this up. There's nothing that bans a woman from playing in the NBA. Nothing.
There's men in the WNBA.
I mean, I don't know.
10-foot pole. I'm not touching that.
Yeah, I'm not touching that one either. But I will say though that with the WNBA though, it's a far more exclusionary group though. You would agree, Eric L. Day?
Oh, for sure.
Okay. Now, let's talk some Arizona women's basketball. Wow, that was not...
Erica wants no part of this conversation.
First of all, we got to talk some Arizona women's basketball recruiting. Can we talk about this 7'5" Chinese prospect that is very, very good? And we are trying to get Adia Barnes to recruit her.
And I've tweeted her a couple of times about it at this point, and I'm not sure she's responded. I'm not sure she's seen it. I think it's very important that she does. So if you guys know the tweet I'm talking about, everyone go respond and at Adia.
I got this. What's her name?
We got to get this to Adia.
All right, how do you pronounce her name?
Hey, can you send that video to Jacob Franklin right now, Eric L. Day? I'd love to play this before we get off the
air. Give me a sec. Let me see what I can do.
This woman is basically Zach Edey. She is amazing.
Which actually we don't want to talk about Zach Edey either.
I got some basketball, some women's basketball news.
What do you got? Talk to me.
One of Erica's favorite high school players has scheduled an official, or is in the process of doing it, but she has chosen Arizona for an official visit.
Who is the Arizona official visit?
Erica, who's that girl you really... Nyla Wilson.
Oh, it's the one I asked you to literally follow up on 3 times. I'm like,
yeah.
Who is she and what does she want? Where is she from?
24/7 now covers women's basketball.
Look at... Before we go any further, I would just like to say that Scheer started this. Okay, Scheer allowed me onto the site. Scheer allowed me to
Who led you to
start
Scheer?
reporting.
Who led
Well,
you
you're
to
correct
Scheer?
here, but I'm just saying that Scheer started the up and coming women's basketball coverage within 24/7, and I just think that it can't go unnoticed.
We have a national writer now who covered it, and he posted that Nyla Wilson is working on setting up an official visit.
Send me that picture, or send me that video though. Or, no, to Jacob Franklin. Send it to Jacob Franklin though.
I'm working on it, Mike.
This shouldn't be this difficult. Okay, her name is.
You can keep talking though, Mike.
All right, I'm going to keep talking. Okay, so with the Arizona women's basketball, can we pull that schedule up in the meantime, Jacob Franklin? Please. Here's where we got. All right, here are the home games for Adia Barnes' group. ASU should be a win. I'm going to pretend that I know if these teams are good.
Mike, I got this. Mike.
Help me out.
ASU, BYU wins. Utah's up in the air. Baylor loss. Cincinnati, Iowa State win. TCU lost. The rest of them wins.
Yeah.
Wait,
Jacob, you're right.
You think that they lose to Baylor and beat Iowa State and lose to TCU at home?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Well, they always lose to random teams and beat good ones at home. So that's what I did.
You know what? That's valid. That is valid.
Yeah. I just mixed it up a little bit.
Hey, now let me ask you this: when you look at this, when you look at these teams, what is the best case scenario for the Arizona women's basketball?
10-9 conference wins, or 10-8.
You said you thought they were a Sweet 16 team.
And that doesn't change. These are still good teams.
Iowa State was last season. We're taking out Oklahoma and Texas because Oklahoma ran it right. Kansas State. Well, the winner of the Big 12 last year was Oklahoma at 15-3. Kansas State is the best returning team. They were 13-5.
Now, let me ask you this.
So Erica thinks they're ASU. They're 6, basically.
And ASU sucks, correct? They're not any good.
Yeah, they're not good.
They got that one girl.
I love Ty Skinner. She was injured last year. She's super good, and they fortunately for themselves got rid of Treasure Hunt in the transfer portal this year, so they might.
That's a real name.
I know. I saw that I saw that during the tournament last year. Treasure Hunt, fantastic name.
Yeah.
Treasure Hunt.
But I do want to point out to Arizona fans that Aaronette Von Lay will get to be hosted for the final time here in McHale, so don't miss that Baylor matchup.
Baylor. Where did Treasure Hunt go?
Don't know, don't care.
Wait a second. Von Lay's coming back to the U of A?
No, she is at Baylor though, so we will get to host her.
I was like, I thought Treasure Hunt was still on ASU.
Last I knew, she was in the portal.
No, I think she came back
because she's really good. Correct.
Oh, I Googled Treasure Hunt thinking that would give me an answer. It didn't.
Ooh, no, yeah. No. By the way, Dick Wilson
tweeted at Adia. I live tweeted at Adia.
By the way, Dick Wilson, that means 24/7 will drop her in the rankings. Is this true, Scheer? If she comes to the U of A, will you guys drop her then?
Oh, we don't have women's rankings. No, we don't rank them.
Well,
yeah, the WNCAA rankings. And then
fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Jake Fagus says, what's the ceiling for the team this year seeding wise? What would you say this?
I got this.
Jake.
Go ahead.
4 seed.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah.
I'm a women's basketball expert because of Brielle now, Mike.
What's that?
I'm a women's basketball expert now because of Brielle.
No, look at Glenn. Look at this cheap shot from Glenn. You are wrong, Glenn. You are wrong. Let's be real. Yes, I know players. And I've actually watched more women's basketball in the last year than I've ever watched. So take that.
He's also spent more time talking about it over the last month than he might have over the course of his entire life.
How many people are in live stream women's basketball chats twice a week? This guy is.
Rindo Billy's right. We can't rank women. All women are equal. You can't rank women. It's not fair. They're all on the same playing field to me. Thank you.
What's the deal? So who's Arizona? So Arizona, Mike Luke is now a women's basketball expert. I'm going to put that on there. That is very. Now, Let's talk a little bit then about, are there any players on the U of A women's basketball team that are WNBA prospects?
Yeah, Brea Cunningham. Easy.
Okay. And then who else? There are many more, I would assume.
I mean, yes, but we've discussed how the pool is a lot smaller, and I have yet to see Montea do play a game, so that is yet to be seen. And then as far as Jada Williams, I believe she has a higher ceiling than what she is reaching now, so she very well could go to the WNBA, but my anticipation will not be high for that.
Can you
Purely because of
declare
her size?
Can you declare
No.
early? Do they declare
No.
early? I think they do declare early.
You
They
can. You can
Yeah,
declare
you
early.
can, Eric Alday. I think you're wrong.
No.
Angel Reese could have came back.
For a COVID year.
Yes,
You-
technically it's
I
early.
believe that you can
Yes,
declare
but
early.
you have to go. It's 4 years.
Can you declare? I got this, Mike. Early.
If you're
for
a foreign player, you can declare early. Yes, but if you are in the United States, you cannot.
Oh, there's an age limit, so you can declare early, but the WNBA has a different age limit. You have to be 22 years old. What are we doing here?
Why do you have to be 22 years old?
'Cause no one's good
22.
enough at 18 years old, anyways.
Yeah, that's what it is, dude. So like Juju Watkins wouldn't be 22. 22 to declare for the draft.
Why do you? I don't understand this. We need to
I
break.
don't
this
understand
barrier
either.
down.
Men's, you only have to be 18.
If Erica has to say if Erica has to say no 5 times, she's probably right. Are we sure about this?
Erica's wrong.
You know, I'm
Erica,
not
how wrong?
Erica is right.
You can declare early. You just have to be super. Like if you were from BYU,
How early is that?
if you're BYU and you're a 23-year-old junior, you could
You can
declare
leave early. All right, I'm just saying that is what it is.
Commenters, could you guys tell them how annoying they
Typical
are?
Scheer dub. Typical Scheer dub.
Typical Scheer dub. But after all the L's that Scheer took with Cody Williams, he's got to get something out of this.
Oh my gosh.
So
Here's the real problem with the WNBA draft. To answer your question, you asked Erica if there's anyone good enough. There is, but then they get cut like 3 days later.
yeah, I don't
Like,
understand how that
Because they're
works.
not good enough.
Well, but like Esri and Puello, like they got drafted and then they're
That's
cut like,
because
3
they
days
weren't
later.
good enough.
So are those WNBA players? You see what I'm saying here?
Like is
That
Sam
draft
Thomas
is
in the
so
NBA?
poorly designed.
No, Sam Thomas retired from basketball a year ago.
She retired? She's like 24.
Yeah, but you don't want to
because
go play in
She
Yugoslavia.
wasn't good enough to play in the WNBA.
What's she doing now? Is
And-
she a coach?
She's I actually think she does stuff with like social media marketing for sports teams.
Oh,
She's
my
real
gosh.
nice.
I know her-
I like
Her
Sam.
sister works for the Chiefs, so and I think they both do similar lines of work.
Yeah, James just makes a great point. If they're not good enough to even have a second round of the WNBA draft, what's the point? I agree with that.
They do.
They have
That's
3
incorrect.
rounds.
They have 3 rounds. I love when commenters are incorrect
Yeah,
because
James.
they do have 3 rounds of the
All right, but his
WNBA
point is
draft.
still, point's still valid though. Why would they why would you have a second round if
The problem, Mike, is that they don't have the money to pay
There's not
these
enough
girls.
spots, right?
So
And
there's not enough
listen,
spots financially, so you have to cut them if they're not good enough. There's
I was
no
talking about this the
jury,
other
there's
day.
no anything.
The WNBA has one problem that it needs to solve, and until it solves this problem, it can never be the pristine women's basketball league of the world. Because right now, we're going to use Helena Puello as a prime example. Okay, Helena Puello, she was drafted and got a training camp contract with the New York Liberty, and then was cut and now is going to play basketball in Spain. She is going to make more money, be at home, and give quite literally red carpet rolled out for her in Spain versus if she were to play in America and make less than $70,000 a year and have to deal with American nonsense. Like there is no reason that a foreign player that is really good would want to come to America to play in the WNBA. Literally no reason. And until the WNBA fixes that problem, they will never be marketable.
So
What
what?
about
Yes, how do you,
freedom, though, Erica? What about
how do you-
freedom?
what-
Isn't that the number one
how do you
reason?
fix it? How do you fix that though, Erica?
If they're here on a visa, are they really free, Scheer?
Money, Mike. It all comes back to money.
You got to
They don't
get
have
so you got to pay them.
Right, exactly.
To
Mike,
get what
you
you
make-
need to do, you need to
you
promote
make
Caitlin
more.
Clark more.
You make more money than a WNBA player.
Well, but then you can't complain about $80 tickets. So it's a double-edged sword, and it's just like the MLB. We complain all day about how they make too much money, but then why tickets are so expensive. But every spring training, we are revisiting the same conversation about how they need more money in their contracts.
Oh, look at Andre
It's
Barrett.
the same shit in every sport, and so I just
look at this.
Oh, whoa!
Wow!
Jacob, you got that dump button?
Yes, exactly. It is funny whenever somebody swears now, I so badly think about my time on the radio and I start looking for that dump button immediately. All right, Jacob Franklin, we'll be off in just a second. But Andre Veras, the great Andre Veras says, I am loving this fire from Erica. Erica needs to be on the show more often. Correct. That's why every now and then when somebody will complain, that is falling on deaf ears. I can't hear anyways. By the way, though, Erica all day, when she came on here, there were 172 people. 3 minutes ago, there was up to 179. Erica L. Day is an addition to the show. We very much like Erica L. Day around here. She is like the Circle K that you want, but it's just there at all the times. Erica L. Day, we like her a great deal. I don't know what that means, but it sounds cool.
This is true.
All right, now, Erica L. Day, where can they find you doing your work? Oh, follow her on Twitter. Follow her on Twitter, my friends.
This is very important. At @PHNX_Mercury on Twitter right now. If you're not following me right now, I'm going to find out about it and I'm going to follow you and then block you for not following me back.
Exactly. Follow her. Let's see. Glenn says, calling her Miss Day because she took you to class. Be nice, Glenn. All right, now. Oh, by the way, this is another good thing that I've done with ASU fans. Most ASU fans despise Jason Scheer. They despise Jason Scheer. One ASU fan at a time, I am getting to believe that Jason Scheer is a good person. Glenn is one of these people now. Glenn likes Jason Scheer. Scheer likes Jason Glenn. Jason Glenn. Sounds like an action figure, Jason Glenn coming down from the mountain. But either way, that's what we want to do around here. So it's the Erica L. Day show and other show. I like that. The show should be Erica. No, Erica's fantastic. We always say that. Glenn. But anyways, all right, Erica L. Day. Follow him on PHNX_Mercury. This is correct.
This is true. And if you're, while you're at it, go ahead and follow me on my regular Twitter at Erica Lee Day as well.
Yes. Now, Jason Scheer, if you want to follow that guy, let's see where can you find him?
WildcatAuthority.com, Wildcat Scoop Podcast with Shelby. At Jason Scheer on Twitter.
You know what I just saw Jacob Franklin doing? Laughing so hard he was slapping his knee. I have no clue what he was doing.
While I texted my ASU contact to talk about Treasure Hunt. She has not found a home, so I'd imagine she will be returning to ASU this year.
Yes.
Turns out she was hunting for a home and couldn't find a treasure. Am I right?
By the way, there is no Brad Hudson. By the way, there is no Grant or Alvernon Circle K anymore. Nice try. There is no.
There isn't.
Jacob Franklin, you want to sell before we get off the air? This is very funny. Jacob Franklin was seriously slapping his knees like this. He was laughing so hard. I cannot wait to hear.
He just said, laughing at a mistake I made yesterday. Well, now I need to know the mistake.
Well, now we're definitely staying on there. Okay, so. Anyways, all right, follow Jason Scheer. And if you want, follow me. I mean, you lucked your way onto the show, so hopefully you enjoyed it. Now, on that note, though, we will be back with you tomorrow. You get 5 days of Scheer. That sounds like a Christmas solstice, 5 days of Scheer. So, and maybe we'll even bring Erica L. Day back on, being that we have so many people that want her to replace me already. So, you know what? Maybe you have to keep her and kind of keep her at bay. But, on a serious note, though, for the great Erica L. Day, for Jason Scheer. Scheer, what's your middle name again? Hezekiah? What'd you say it was?
Matthew. Matthew,
close. Yes, close. For Erica Leah Day, Jason Matthew Scheer, I am merely Michael Aaron Luke. For the great Jacob Jeffrey Franklin behind the scenes, we will be back with you tomorrow. You guys are all fantastic. You're smarter than me. I rely on you. Even you, Glenn. Come back with us. You've been listening to the AC Wildcats podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.